Hi people, it's your girl Cassidy Live. So welcome back again to my channel. So in today's vlog, it's basically about my university life. I just want to share my experiences in university and what I went through, things I did during my university days and all of that. So yes, and how my journey of becoming, a fashionista, or my journey of becoming a bida macramas all started. Okay, so I just want you to know what actually happened and then what actually transpired during my university days. But before then, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do what to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and then share it as well. Okay, so now let's begin the video. Today is not about any tutorial. So yeah, so I went to Kwame University of Science and Technology, that is KNUST, the best among the rest, you can argue. But yes, it's the best among the rest. So I went to KNUST and I read economics, that's Bachelor of Arts Economics. It's no more Bachelor of Science. Okay, so Bachelor of Arts, and I must say, so I'm just like going to brief you about my course. I didn't really like economics when I was going to university. I wasn't the type that was like, everybody is going to university, so I have to be happy about it. Like, I was so much excited. I wasn't like that. I was really sad because the course I actually wanted to do, that was fashion. My parents didn't agree with me concerning that, because they felt like I could do it along the line, so I should just focus on any other courses that would also help me improve my life. So I guess that's how come I came about economics. So honestly, I wasn't happy about the course. I wasn't happy about going to university because that wasn't what I wanted. So I remember my registration was really late. That was the time KNUST had to go through to admission. They did the first one and then they opened the second one, so I applied for the second one. That was when I bought forms and I applied, and then I got economics. So economics wasn't my thing, but then I had to do it. So I went to university. I went very late. I was affiliated to Africa Hall. Anyway, I didn't like that hall. At first I did like it, but it was just for females, so I didn't really like that vibe. So when we got there, they told us the place was full, Africa was full, and I was so excited because I didn't want to be there. And looking through how the hall was, it's not like I'm disgracing KNUST here, but honestly, by then Africa Hall was really whack. There was no fans and a whole lot of, the place was choked, like one in a room, very small room, and no fun. Like, the whole place, I just didn't like the whole place. So when it was full, I was super excited. I had to relocate to off campus because all the walls were full by then. So off campus to where my hostel was really far. I was at Ayediasi New site. That was where I was basing. It was 2 in a room, and luckily for me, I was the first person to use that hostel. I wouldn't say hostel, that room in that hostel. It was actually a new building, so everybody that came during that time was the first person to use that. The bed was new, everything was new inside, so it was like, okay, I like the vibe that I'm the first person to use my bed and everything inside. So I went there with my cousin, so I was living with my cousin, and then later she had to move because she was working, because the hostel didn't allow workers to stay there. So second year she had to move. So second year I got a roommate. In second year, yes, but I didn't like her. I didn't like so many of her attitude. I was so not just okay with she being around, because it was like fight here and there. So I wasn't comfortable, and I told my dad about it. He suggested that I should move to one in a room. He could pay the lady off so that the lady would move from that room, and then I would stay in that room alone. But then she said she wanted to move, I had to, luckily for me, that my next door neighbor, her roommate was moving to campus, so in order for me to pay her off, I just had to pay her so that my roommates will move to the other room, and then I have all the room by myself. So which one I was able to do it. So I stayed in one in the room, so I completed. So basically, with the one in the room, I had to. What actually happened during that time was it was quite boring. Although I had friends in the hostel, I had Rodon, Chris. Those were my two, Rodon, Chris, and Baffle. Those are my three like good friends in that hostel. They entertained me a lot. Rodon was one, Chris was one. It's like just like they were my second roommates. Okay, so they were there to cheer me up all the time. They used to come around, we talk, we do everything. Most of when I get bored in the room, so that was when I started watching YouTube videos on how to make this bag, make this design, make this and that. But initially I still wanted to pursue my fashion thing, so I wanted to go to a fashion school or maybe a seamstress to learn from there. I actually found one around my area because I wanted that so that I would be closer to her and I could be going from time to time. I went there and she was making me do odd changes all the time, so I wasn't comfortable with that. I came to learn, I'm a student and I wouldn't belong there, so why don't you teach me what I want? Hey, that was the agreement to make. But then this month I go there, she gave me people's dresses that they want or trade. I'm like, I didn't come here for this. So it was just like on and off, and then along the line I paid her in food, so yeah, along the line I had to quit because it wasn't helping me. I didn't come there for that. I came there for a business. So people say tuition, it's never cheap. Okay. I didn't come there for a tuition. You definitely know how to treat a dress if you learn how to do it. Very well. So I thought my education was a bit rough. I remember for the very first time, first year, I had a bad experience in first year, which I wanted to quit so badly. Yes, I really wanted to quit because we were going to write end of sem, and then we had math 153. One was statistics, and then one was for accounts math. So, and they all had the same code, math 153, math 153. So I decided to I didn't really take notice of the time. One was, we were writing one on Wednesday and then one on Friday. Those were our two last papers, and they were all like, one was 8 a.m, one was 10 a.m. So I don't know what came over me. I remember I called a friend that Wednesday morning, and then I asked him, are you going to write the math 153 today? Like what time? I don't know whether he also checked the timetable or not. So he told me that it was around 10 a.m. thinking that okay, I mostly get to the exams hall 30 minutes before the time. So I went there around 9:30, thinking that like by 10 we all be seated and then write the exam. Only for me to get there and my colleagues were writing the exams. So I went there, I saw them writing, and then one lecturer approached me and then asked me why I was late. I told him I thought the math 153 is around 10. That's why I even came 9:30. And he said I'm very late because after 30 minutes they don't allow students in the exams hall again. So I had to go and then come back to write the supplementary. So basically I missed that paper, and I don't know where the tears came from. I started crying. So those who were around were consoling me. They asked me if I was in first year, and then they were like, oh, it's normal, I should just come and then write the supplementary because it's not really difficult. Okay, that's what they made me understand. The supplementary wasn't really difficult, so I can come and write it. But I was just crying. So I spoke to the exams officer and he suggested the same thing. So I remember I went to see the lecturer, the course of the lecturer. Okay, so I went to see the lecturer of that particular course. I went there and he even wasn't the thing. He was just talking to me anyhow, shouting at me. Like, I'm first year, I don't even know my left and right in the campus because I didn't know we're in KNUST. When I went, I think they had done with their orientation and everything. So I just didn't know certain places even on campus. And it was quite difficult for me, considering the fact that I went late too. And I wasn't that friendship type, okay? So I didn't have a lot of friends. I just had few people around. They were even my group studies people. So it was just I mingled with a few people. I was that kind of anti person. And there's one thing that is not good. If you're maybe if you're in a university fashion and you're watching me, please make sure you make friends, okay? It's very good and it's very important. I was that kind of person, but then I regretted being that kind of a person. It's good to mingle, okay? Don't let anybody deceive you that, and then don't go and make friends. Just that, make sensible friends, not just any friends too. Not people who, you have to have the party type of friends and the learning type of friends. Those who like the two, who can combine the two, can join them. Or maybe those who like the learning more. But if it's all party, I'm sorry, quit that friendship. You heard me right? I said quit. So yes, I went there and he wasn't the case. That day, so I had to go to my room, cry my heart out. I really cried that day, and the most person I was scared to face was my dad, because he doesn't joke when it comes to education. And I knew how he's going to blast me on this. I called him, he blasted me, and that was like my worst day ever in the university. I cried so hard that even the next paper I was so down, like going to write car, I was just thinking about it twice because it wasn't easy for me. So I went to write that paper, and I know that the next day I have to go home. So going home, I was a bit scared because of how my dad reacted during that time. I was really scared because I don't know what he's going to do when I get home. Not like my daddy is a scary type, but this time around I was really scared. I don't know whether you have experienced that before. So I went home and my dad received me so nice that I'm like, hey, what is happening? He never mentioned about it. He never talked about it. So during the time I was going to write the exams, I just let him know that I'm supposed to pay this amount for the supplementary, and that this and this and that. But one thing that affected me badly was he just put my midterm results there and then gave me an F because I didn't write the exams. The midterm results definitely wouldn't pass me to D or something like that. Everybody can just know that. So he just put my midterm results there, and he just didn't do anything. He gave me F. I actually had made a report about it that I missed the exams, wrote a letter to them, but I still got an F at the long run. So it affected my CWA, and so I decided to forget about it. After all, I can't force it because he the person in question wouldn't help me out. So I actually went to write the supplementary, of which I passed, yes. So the next second year, the same thing happened on the second year. This time around, I didn't ask anybody. I just didn't look at the timetable. It was around the same time. It was supposed to be morning around 8, but I thought the time was 10. And the whole thing is, I even woke up around 4 to do my last review. I was at the hostel. I remember I was at the hostel when my roommate was leaving from the hostel by then, and then I told her, oh me, I have a paper at 10, so around 9:30 I'll leave the room and then go. Not knowing my colleagues were writing, so I think I uploaded something on my stats, and one of the lecturers saw it and he asked me, hey Ajua, are you not writing a paper this morning? Why are you? I said, I'm in the room. The paper is at 10. He said he's the one invigilating and that I should that my colleagues are writing. So I think by then I had already picked a car to the school because I was on my way and I put something on my stat. So he told me that my mates are writing and then they are almost done. I didn't even bother myself going to the exams hall. Wherever I reached, I just asked the mate to drop me. I returned back to my room but then I wanted to cry again, but then I know what I passed through, and this time around I was ready to face anything. So yes, I missed that paper in second year too, and I had to come and write supplementary. Made the supplementary there. I think it's only for the I didn't write supplementary. All my years in KNUST, I was mostly writing supplementary. First year I wrote, second year I wrote 1-1. So that one I didn't tell my dad about it. I had to lie and then come from home to write it. That's what I did actually. So in third year was my worst experience, and it was the worst ever on campus. I went to school and we had dropped our minor. KNUST, they have minor courses and major courses. So I actually did economics and geography. The mistake I ever made, but now I don't really regret. I thought I had done geography in my SHS. So, and then in SHS it was way cheaper for me than even econs. I did like geography a lot in SHS. I thought it was like the same thing. So I remember when the lady asked, I was with my cousin when we went there. I remember when the lady asked my cousin, she was like, me, I want politics. And then I told the lady, I want geography, I want geography. The lady was like, hey, it comes in geography, are you sure you can do it? I'm like, yes. And then she laughed. That was the worst. Econs and geography combined together. These two courses, I'm sorry, they are just a different whole set of, So I combined these two courses. I had to, so first of all, in third year, I had to drop the geography and concentrate on the course. It happens everywhere. And you can't always see when you're doing two major courses, you drop one when you're going to third year. So in third year, I went and what actually happened? In third year, the courses were not easy, especially econometrics. That was the course I hated so bad. Even before we were going to third year, the seniors were already scaring us that course is really difficult, so many things, so there was fear in you. And honestly, the lecturer who taught us that course, he's good. I won't lie to you. He knows. You see, it's not everybody that knows book can teach you. I have colleagues who really know what they are about, but they can't teach you. When you sit down with them and they're teaching you, they can't teach you. This one, it's not like I'm disgracing the lecturer here, but the truth of the matter is his kind of teaching was poor. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing. It's not like he doesn't know much more about the course. He knows. He's brilliant, but his teaching is poor. I wasn't understanding the course. I wasn't the only person complaining, so I wouldn't come and sit here and a lot of people were complaining. It's just that some of them, they can learn ahead and all that, and they used to go for this tutorials. Me, I wasn't really active. In fact, the whole university vibe was like, I wasn't serious. Even when I would learn, it was just around the time that exams is about to start. I don't learn on a regular day. So I know if I had taken my study serious, I wouldn't have ended up with a second class lower. If I had taken it, I knew I would have pushed harder. But from the onset, everybody who knows me knows I didn't really take university serious from the onset. So if you're watching me and then you're still in the university, it's just an advice. Just take a study serious, no matter the course. Even if you don't like the course, just take it serious, because at the end of the day, when you're out, that is when you know why you didn't take. If I had the chance I'm not going back to school. Please. I'm done with school. Maybe I'll do my master's sometime to come, but I'm not going back to school at the moment. But if you're in the university and you're watching me, just please take your books serious, okay? It's really important. Try your best to kill it once and for all. Once you're done, you're done. Right now, nobody can force me to go and take a book to read. I would read it at my own convenient time. Tell you guys today. So I remember I went in third year, the courses was when I think it was just like -1 because first year I did 8 courses, second year 8 courses, third year 7, and then fourth year is 7 probably, yes. But my project work, no 6, I think with my project work. So yes, I was doing these courses, and third year was the worst ever. All the courses in third year wasn't a joke. So I chilled. I think third year I had 5 chills. I'm not happy seeing this. No, am I proud to say this? Which is really, really bad. It means I wasn't taking it, but then it actually pushed me to work harder. I didn't tell my dad about the whole thing, chilling 5 courses, because I know I would be like dead by now. So what I used to do was to print. I had to gather some money and then pay for my supplementary, pay for classes, because the 2 years were around by then, so we had to pay them for them to teach you. So I had to pay that to go and write the supplementary. I had to lie to my dad I was going to do something on campus, some project works and all that on campus, which was a lie. But then I had to try and then do it because I couldn't face my dad with that results. So I did write the exams, and when it came, I had passed all the 5 courses. I think first semester I chose 2, second semester I chose 3. So I had passed all the 5 courses. Now we're going to 4th year. 4th year was my worst. It wasn't my worst. 3rd year I met some good friends. Okay, so I became friends with Mary and then Ernest in 3rd year. Those were my 2 party, and even I'll show you our pictures for you to see us. So 3rd year, these 3 people were some people I can never forget in my life. They had a positive influence on my life. They made me laugh. Ernest, whenever Ernest is going to learn, he should call you, Cassie, yo, why are you? I'm going to the library. Can you imagine? I started going to the library, I think 3rd year, 2nd semester, or 4th year, one of them. I used to pass the library, but I never entered because that's not my main focus there. So I met these friends, and then it was like they have to go to the, library to study, and we could study the whole night till the following morning. We go and write our paper, and then we come back to our rooms before we can rest for a while. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. So anytime I'm like, I wish I met you guys earlier. My life wouldn't have been this, in a mess like that. I have regrets, but every step in my life, it tells me something. Okay, so even though I don't regret over living that kind of lifestyle I lived, but then along the line I know I changed for the better. Okay, so yes, I met these people, and then they were so good to me, and they helped me with my education so badly. They supported me so badly, and I was able to finish school mainly because of them. Okay, because I don't know what would have happened if maybe in 4th year I'll still be reluctant and not learning. I might not have finished Care University. So I'm so grateful to them. Annie, Mary, Eben, Vera, Farid, JM, Jeff, and so many other people. I couldn't mention their names, but they were all there, and they had a positive influence on my life. So yes, this was part of my education side. What actually happened, love life too will be the next thing I'll talk about in my next video. I hope you all enjoyed this video. So I just want to say that if you are doing something, if you are in school and you're doing something, just focus on yourself, your body, your soul, your heart. Focus on what you want to achieve in life. I focused on so many things, and I tell you, it worked for me. So I don't know about you, but just focus, and I know it will work for you. Okay. So yes, please give this video a thumbs up, and also like this video as well. And if you enjoyed this video too, kindly share it. Okay. So please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and share. See you in my next video. Bye.